Welcome to the Block Party. My name is Seth Kushner. Giddy up, let's go. Look, I'm a busy guy. Chris Dingman's a busy guy. It's amazing that we even connected. We've been trying for like 4 days. Two-time Stanley Cup champion, former member of the Lightning with one of those cups. Chris Dingman, welcome back to the Block Party.
Well, thanks for having me. You've been blowing me off for like 3 days now, so it's okay. You're a popular guy, man. You're all famous and stuff. I see how it is. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm just an up-and-coming podcaster, Dinger. You know, it's the same old me. What have you been up to, man? Are you like, it seems like you're doing real work now. You're out and about during the day. Are you doing glove stuff? Are you just trying to escape your house? What's happening?
Well, I'm a dad of 3, so I get up every morning about 5. I get breakfast going. Sorry about that. I was half masking there because we got to wear masks when we go into places. So
I know
I half mask it sometimes. So I get up about 5 every day. I get breakfast going for the kids, and then I work out. And then my wife will drive one of them or 2 of them, and I'll drive. Usually they'll drop the baby off in the other one, and then I coach a U18 girls team, which is great. So I do that early in the morning, and then I sell gloves and deliver them in the afternoon. So yeah, kind of busy, I guess.
I didn't know. How long have you been coaching the girls team?
This is my first year. So,
yeah, all right,
it's great.
All right, Dinger. Now tell me, I only know about Canadian politics through you and your Twitter account. That's the only reason I know what's going on. What's going on with the kids in hockey? Are people not allowed to come watch them play? What's this current situation with youth sports in Edmonton?
Edmonton's okay. So you got to show that vaccine passport, I guess it's called, or whatever. So proof of double vaccination, or you got to have a negative COVID test, I guess is what it's called. So, but I'm double vaccinated. I got my booster shot, so I'm all boosted up, and so everything's good on that front. The kids, if you're under 18, you don't have to be vaccinated, but my kids are all vaccinated. So, Alberta's been okay. It's been, Montreal, Toronto had some shutdowns. British Columbia had some limitations. So it sounds like they're removing them, I guess, or alleviating them, I guess maybe be a better term. So
yeah,
I don't mind. I've been vaccinated. Our whole family's vaccinated, minus my little girl there. So she's too young, but I don't care. I look at it. I'm not going to get all political, and I'm not really too political, to be honest with you. I just like making fun of Justin Trudeau because I just think he's whatever. If he played hockey, he would get it. Let's just put it that way. So he's like every time he talks, it's just, I understand this has been hard. We're all in this together. And every time he says that, I'm like, we're not all in this together. Like, we have different circumstances, like when people I'm part of a small business, a family business. So anytime there's restrictions and shutdowns, I understand, you have to do things for the greater good and, health and stuff like that. But don't say we're not all in the same position, because, shutdowns hurt different people different ways. So, I'm not all political and stuff. I just, something about him. Just, I don't know.
Listen, I love it, man. It's Dinger Unleashed, Unhinged. I said, I watch all the videos that you retweet with Justin Trudeau. I don't watch any TV. I don't know what's going on in the world except just with the stuff that I cover. So, like I said, I have a vested interest in making sure that you're safe and that you're free. Now, Dinger, seriously, what's been the biggest challenge for you coaching this first year, and what's been the thing that you've enjoyed the most about it?
I don't think it's been challenging at all. Like, to be honest with you, I've coached for quite a number of years. I've never coached, I've done camps and stuff with the Lightning before, but I've never coached a girls team. And, it's funny. Everyone's like, well, girls hockey and this and that. And it's not, man. They're tough. Like, our team is awesome. And then I chirp them. Every practice, we scrimmage and stuff. And, I've been stepping up my game, or at least trying to. So, I go pretty hard. I'm not body checking, but I bump them a little. And so now I've been telling them it's okay to battle and stuff. And so the one girl body checked me yesterday, and I kind of embellished a little bit, threw myself down. She's like, "Oh yeah, it was a good hit there." And I was like, "Yeah, what are you doing? What are you running me for?" So I chirp them quite a bit. So every time my team wins, I always say, you just got dominated by the 45-year-old fat guy. So you better step your game up. So I'm just trying to challenge them. They're awesome. They're honestly, like, we have a great group of girls, and they're not, I wouldn't call them females or girls. They're just athletes. They're hockey players. They're tough, man. Like, they whack me and slash me, and I'm like, you can do slash me, just don't attack my knees. It's like the Cobra Kai, the sweep the leg. So don't sweep the knee. Anything else is pretty much fair game. So it hasn't really been challenging. You just talk to them and give them confidence and stuff and challenge them. And
What's your
at
record?
first I don't even know, to be honest with you. I think pretty good. Like we're definitely above 500.
Okay.
We're just man, we get it. It's probably like when I played where my team's probably just like me, where we get a bunch of chances. We don't always bury them. So I call it the giggities, where it was that character, like Family Guy or something. The guy, giggity, oh, giggity, giggity, oh, yeah. So I call it the giggities when you get a rebound or there's a rebound there and you're trying to like put it in the net and you're like, you can't. So they get a chuckle out of that. So it's been great. It's been fun. That's pretty easy, to be honest with you.
Have you had to go full Tortorella on these girls yet? I mean, what do you how harsh do you get on them, if you've had to get on them yet?
Never. No, I've never really gotten too harsh. We're an academy, so and not that people that aren't an academy don't take it seriously, but like they're hockey players, and they're there to play and get better and get scholarships and go to school. Try and go to school in the States. We got some girls that are looking at opportunities in Canada and stuff. So yeah, I haven't really needed to go Tortorella. Like a couple times I just like, that's not good enough. And like one time I wasn't even mad. And the girl was like, wow, Dinger's mad. I'm like, oh, I'm mad. Like I just was like, this isn't good. Sorry, like we were doing a drill and it just wasn't going well. So and I tell them, like, I played I've been on NHL teams where we had guys, we call them drill wreckers, where they just ruin the drill every time. And I tell them, like, coaches would look for something, like when they were pissed off or they're sour about something, that they would look for something. It's just so they could get mad because they wanted to get mad. And so I just tell them stories about when I played stuff, how I played guys that were drill wreckers, and I say, like, if you're a drill wrecker, if you don't know, don't go first. Like if you don't know what you're doing, don't go first. Go to the back of the line, watch a couple times. And so yeah, they're cool. They're really good kids. So it's no challenging, no Tortorella. I haven't had to snap. I got mad at the refs a couple times, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's what we'll get those stories for another time. All right. Listen, so you're coaching now. Another teammate of yours, former teammate of yours, he's coaching now with the Montreal Canadiens. When Marty got named the coach, a week ago, I don't know how long it's been at this point. Were you surprised? I felt like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I did. That was like same thing. I was really surprised, to be honest with you. And then just thinking back, I think the GM there, he was, or the president, he was in Montreal, or not Montreal. He was in New York when Marty was there. So there's a relationship there. I forget how, like in college or something. So I guess a little bit surprised. And then when I put the pieces together, I guess maybe not. So, I mean, why not? It's, I guess the thing for coaching in the NHL is that guys get fired and then you keep hiring the same guys. And not to say they shouldn't be hired again, because sometimes it just doesn't work. And I look at it, if you're the president, you're going to fire the GM. And if you're the GM, you're going to fire the coach. And then once you fire the coach, and if you're not doing well, then, your last case scenario, you're going to fire yourself. And Paul Maurice actually did that in Winnipeg. So usually someone's got to be the fall guy. And I just look at it, people are looking at things differently. Like coaching styles have changed. It's not that same old yell and scream and threaten guys and stuff like that. It's more the relationship, and players are different. And, just even for my kids, like the girls I coach, I don't really need to yell at them. Like once in a while, I'll just tell them, like, what are you doing? That's too long. Like you do that again, you're not going to play. And they're like, oh, okay. So I think it's great. So, Marty's obviously, I don't know, I haven't seen him play in a while, but I'm sure he's probably still pretty good. But he was a great player. Good hockey mind, and why not? Like, why not try something different? So try something outside of the box, because what they were doing, obviously they had some injuries, and Carey Price hadn't played, and Weber, and so they had some difficulties there, and they lost to No and some other guys. But like, why not? Why not try something different? Think outside the box. I mean, we get stuck in our ways too many times. Even with doing radio, it's like, we do this. It's it's 6 a.m. we do this. At 6:20 we do this. At 6:40, and sometimes you just got to shake things up. So I think it's great. I think Marty's going to do well. It looks like the guys are responding to him already. So, I wish him the best.
Was Marty like a coach / player back in the day, or was he only a player? Did you ever go like, oh man, this guy's going to go on to be a coach or something like that?
No, I don't think you really think that. I think maybe with Andrew Chuck and Tim Taylor, he kind of thought maybe they would get into the coaching just because they're veteran guys and leaders. And Marty, I don't know if I ever thought he'd get into coaching, but there's definitely times where he'd speak up if we weren't playing well or something. It was that same old like this isn't good enough or whatever, and then the power play and stuff, which I wasn't on very often, so I can't speak to that too much. But I if you're a brilliant hockey mind, you're a brilliant hockey mind. So you look at a guy like Marty who didn't make it initially because he was too small, and they got an opportunity in Tampa with Torts and made the most of it. He had to think not outside of the box, but he had to play the game differently than say I did or other guys that were bigger. When he started out, you basically had to be like over. If you were going to get drafted in the first round, you had to be over like 6'1", 6'2". That's what they were doing back in the early to or mid to late '90s. Well, I guess the whole '90s. It was the Lindros era and those bigger guys because the game there's so much obstruction and hooking and holding. So, and that's something that bothers me too with jumping around a little bit here, but like girls hockey and stuff, and even youth hockey is that there's so much obstruction, especially in the girls' game. And we have some great players that can play the game and like make plays that are fast. And I coach the opposite way I play. Like we move the puck and we're a skilled team, and you just get interfered with all the time. And I'm like, look, I don't like yelling at the rest, but I'm like, that's interference. Like that's interference. Like our player, if they chip it by, because in girls hockey, it's actually like really physical. There's quite a bit of body contact, but you're not allowed to like full on hit, like I guess, but there is quite a bit of hitting. So but just the obstruction part of it, it's just like the game's going this other direction. And then at the younger age groups, you're allowed to like obstruct and bump and interfere. So that does bother me a little bit, but I kind of went off on a tangent there. So sorry. Next question.
No, I like it. How much? It seems like you're very on top of everything that's going on in the NHL. How much hockey are you taking in, and who do you root for? There's got to be teams that you root for.
Well, obviously the Lightning. Other than that, I don't really root for teams, to be honest with you. I just, I watch Edmonton just living here. And obviously you got, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. You get two of the best players in the world. Mike Smith, who's a former Lightning guy and a good guy. So he's back playing. And they just fired the coach Tippett, and they brought up, the coach from the American Hockey League. And so far, so good for them. So, I follow them, the Avalanche, just because, I play with them a little bit. And other than that, I just try and I catch bits and pieces of games here and there, just because I'm pretty busy, to be honest. The daddy duties and the husband duties, getting home and getting dinner ready and doing the laundry because I got two boys playing hockey, and we got our girl and myself, so we got a lot of laundry. We're like minimum 2 loads a day, and then you get dinner and lunch is going. So I don't generally watch a full game; it's very difficult, but I just try and follow what's going on in the league and. More highlights. I'm more of a highlight guy, like at night and then in the morning when I get up, having breakfast or whatever, making breakfast. So I'll catch a couple highlights. So better do something good. Otherwise, I'm not going to see what you do. I still like watching the fights. So that's
all right. You've mentioned breakfast a couple of times that you get up and make breakfast. I am completely worthless around the house. I don't do anything. So I'd like to know, what are you making for breakfast? Like it seems like you are the husband of the year and the father of the year. And I'd like to try to take some notes. What are you whipping up here?
Ooh, well, I wouldn't say husband of the year or father of the year, but I'm up there. I think I'm I'm definitely in the upper echelon. There's probably guys that are way better, but I do hash browns for my one son. I do a waffle for my other boy, and then for Willa, she'll usually have some hash browns or strawberries and yogurt and stuff like that. So it just depends. Sometimes we're in a hurry, so we just get a little snack, and then before I take her to early learning, it's called, or a couple days a week, she goes to my mother-in-law. So usually what I'll do is just get her going and then just get her a little snack, and then grandma likes to feed her. So, it's win-win. So I have to do less, and grandma gets to feed her and they get to hang out. So they're like little buddies. So, that's basically and then I'll have, I do eggs once in a while, scrambled eggs, and then I'll make them last as long as I can. Otherwise it's like toast. And I got to go gluten-free cereal, just to try and keep my shape or somewhat my form.
Yeah, no, I mean, it looks like you're reverse aging. I told you when you sent me a picture of you and Willow the other day. I mean, it totally looks like you're, going backwards. So what does your workout consist of right now? Because I just turned 40 a couple of weeks ago, and not that I was ever a professional athlete, but my workouts have devolved into just a long walk now. And, that makes me feel good. What are you doing right now? I know you got to make sure the knees are good and everything.
I just do a mixture. I do, so I have stuff at home that I actually bought when when my wife was pregnant with her oldest boy. So we have an elliptical and a bike, and then we got dumbbells and a bench press. And I can't bench as much as I once could because my shoulders are shot. But so I do weights pretty much every day, and I do some type of cardio. And then, when I go for my girls' practice, we usually start with a game. So I get my cardio in there, and then if we're short players, I'll jump in and do the drills. So that's another way to get my cardio. So I usually ride the bike or do the elliptical, and then do some weights, do some legs, and do some core. But I learned from a guy actually. There's actually a really good trainer I had, and I was like, I went and saw him. He was actually the guy that got Gary Roberts back playing after he broke his neck, and it was like, I need some good ab exercises, and he was like, okay, yeah, like whatever. I'm like, no, I want to get a six pack or whatever. And he finally looked at me and he goes, yeah, everyone has a six pack. You just have a layer of fat over it. It's what you put in your mouth. It's 80% or 85 or something. So yeah, that kind of crushed my dreams there a little bit. So changed my diet and I try and eat good, but it's difficult sometimes, as we all know, when you're busy. It's just easier to grab a burger or a wrap or something. So
hey, dad bods are in, man. Dad bods are in. Well, it seems like you're in borderline, game shape with all the skating and now the working out that you're doing.
Well, yeah, when they had the taxi squad, that's why I was elevating my game and trying harder in practice, because I was kind of hoping maybe I could. I don't know what they paid for a taxi squad, but if I could hop on Edmonton there with the oil, just be a practice guy, be a good team guy, and be a tackling dummy, kill penalties and stuff. But I never got the call. So,
that's what I want everybody to know is Dinger will take a call about playing. He'll take a call about coaching, really whatever. If you need to call Dinger about something, he's open. He is in the mountains right now, but he still is willing to take your phone call. Now, Dinger, yeah. I've talked to a bunch of the guys, obviously over the last, year and a half, 2 years, about winning the cup, what that was like, what they did on their cup day, since they actually were able to have it now, since the COVID restrictions were lifted. I don't know if we talked about it before. What did you do back in the day? Did you go back to your hometown?
Yeah, I had an Edmonton both times, and I just basically wheeled around to places. And long story short, and just went around to a bunch of friends of mine, restaurants and bars and golf course, and visited a few people that were under the weather, and then just had a party both times. Just had this band by the name, they were a cover band by the name of Mustard Smile, and I had them the first time, and then Daryl Sador had them because he liked them. And so I'm a drummer, so I get, part of hiring them. They had to let me get up and play. So yeah, I just had a party. And the fun of it for me was just how much fun everyone else had. And then they're trying to drink out of it. The cup guys like, no, it's up to the player. Like whatever the player says goes. So like if I want to put like margaritas in the top, I guess you can do that. And if guys want to drink out of it, I have to okay it. And like no one, I don't know if the rules have changed, but back in my day, like if you wanted to hoist it, I had to like pick it up and hand it to you. So there's kind of like a few unwritten rules. So yeah, it's just the fun of it, just to see how much fun everyone else has. Like honestly, I get up and play drums and I just watch everybody drinking out of it and just having a good time because it's a cool trophy. And it's obviously Lightning have done a great job the last few years, and they've had some good parties. I thought we partied pretty good. I thought Washington, Ovi, and them partied pretty good, but those guys, Maroon and the boys and Cooch took it to a whole nother level. And, why not? Like you work your ass off and, from the time you're 5 or whatever, whenever you start playing, and, it's well-deserved. When you win, you should have, obviously you're not destroying the trophy, but you should have the time of your life within reason. So well-deserved.
Who were the big time characters? Obviously, we saw Kucherov and Maroon, step up when the Lightning won back-to-back cups. Who were the big time characters when you guys won back in the day? Was it? I know Andre Watt didn't play that last game, but I'm sure he was part of it.
Yeah, it's Andre Watt. It's not even close. I think I'm funny, but he's like, woo, whole other level of funny. So Andre takes it by landslide. It's not even close. Like it's not even whatever.
How do you think you guys would have done on a boat with the boat parades now being very prevalent in Tampa Bay, not something that they had back in the day for you guys? I think we should have a 20th anniversary boat parade celebration for you guys, for that team. I'm going to go ahead and pitch that. Hopefully Breezeman doesn't kill me. How do you think you guys would have done?
In a boat parade?
Yeah. Overboard?
We probably would have sunk the boat for sure. We definitely would have had to have those water wings. What are those things called? You blow them up and put them around your arms.
Oh yeah,
so
floaties.
Those for sure. Oh yeah, for sure. We'd add those, and then the thing around the waist, and a ton of sunscreen. That would have needed like a ton of sunscreen because there would have been. We had a few pasty guys like Ruslan Fedotenko was a pretty light skinned guy. Myself, Tails was light skinned. I mean, I could go on and on. There was a lot of guys, so we would have needed a lot of sunscreen. There would have been a few guys visiting the trauma care because there would have been like 30-degree burns. But we would have on a boats. I think we would have done pretty good. There would have been a few cannonballs, and someone probably would have thrown the cup in the canal. Do they call it there? Is it the canal or the bay?
The Hillsborough River. Yeah,
the river. Yeah, the Hillsborough River. Yeah. So, yeah, someone would have probably tossed it in. Someone would have had to jump in, and I don't know. Maybe I would have drowned. Actually, Nikita Kucherov, or not Kucherov, Alexia. We had the year ender one year, and then there was that bar down there in the river. What's it called? It backs up.
What, Hat Tricks or something else? Or...
No, not Hat Tricks.
Okay.
It's attached to that hotel. The hotel in the corner there.
Okay.
Yeah, right. It's just down from the Marriott there. So there's arena, there's a Marriott, and then you go down towards, I think it's Davis Island there.
Okay. I know
there's that restaurant or whatever. We put a bunch of money in the one year, and then so Alexia like jumped in and swam back, and we're like a little worried he was going to drown or whatever, but he never did. So but I don't know, I think he collected like $500 or something like that. So good for him, but he didn't smell too good when he got out of there. So
no, it's not good. It's not good water. Can you tell me now, with what's going on in Arizona, can you tell me what the worst venue you ever played hockey in, or maybe the fewest people you ever played in front of when you somewhat professionally?
I remember playing in Carolina when I got traded there in 2002. And we played a Sunday afternoon game, which was just stupid because, you have college football on Saturday and everyone goes like all day. Like it's like they're there at 9 a.m. I remember I was hurt and I was like, oh, let's go for a few drinks, on Friday because the team was gone and a couple of us injured guys and some of the office staff. They're like, no, we got college football tomorrow. We got to go to bed early. I was like, what are you talking about? Then I get there they're at the stadium at like 9 a.m. and they're barbecuing and, grilling and all that stuff. And so whatever, it's an all day thing. And then we had a game Sunday afternoon, obviously have NFL football too. And we had a game and it was like, I don't know if there was 8,000 people there, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know what the announced attendance was, but we go for warm up and the music's not even on. So it's like, like the background elevator music, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like skating around and like, turn up friggin', music on. So I think there, and then actually before there, when I was with Calgary, we played in Greensboro. So when Hartford moved to Carolina or Raleigh, whatever you want to call it, wherever the city, the research triangle, I guess, or they'd call it. But so the first couple of years before they got into the new arena, they would play the games out of Greensboro, and Greensboro's like NASCAR. Like it's like it's not really a hockey town. So they had the whole upper level was tarped off. So it was like I think if they would have filled the bottom level, it might have been 10,000 or something. So I remember going, there was like nobody there. And then we went to a bar after, like a few of us, and we're wearing suits. And a couple guys came up to us and were like, are you guys with the FBI? And I'm like, what? It was like, you guys with the FBI? Are you investigating something? And then Cale Hulse, who's a great guy. Hulse was awesome. He goes, yeah, we can't talk about it. Sorry. We're investigating someone. And the guy was like, oh, yeah. So they probably said, like, it was like we went to, I don't know, some random bar and we're wearing suits. So it's kind of funny. So those are a couple. I don't know off the top of my head. Ottawa's been thin a couple times throughout the years, but those are probably the top two.
Nothing like what Arizona's about going through right now, right?
Yeah, what's bad? What's actually crappy about that is that when they started out, they were downtown Scottsdale, and they shared the arena with the Suns, the NBA team, right? So that arena was right downtown Scottsdale, and there was like Cooper's, Alice Cooper, like he has a bar, Cooperstown Bar. They had the ballpark, and everything was right down there. And like they had a great fan base, but it's just like the one end you couldn't see, or you couldn't see like below the hash marks because the way the seats were like straight, like vertical. And so like the fan base was unbelievable, but then they got this free land out in wherever it's called, like 50 minutes away, and they've had a hard time filling it ever since. Just because the original fan base has to drive like 50 minutes for every game. They're like, well, they do it for football, but football is what, 8 games?
Yeah,
maybe 9 or 10, depending on playoffs. So, ask someone to go 41 games, or if you have a full season or whatever, like drive a minimum 50 minutes out in the middle of nowhere. It's a little difficult. So it's actually too bad. So like, now like the fact that they're getting ridiculed now, like there's a lot of hockey there and they've grown the game, and there's a lot of players that are coming out of there. Like obviously Austin Matthews is a pretty famous name of a player, a guy that came out of there, but they've done a good job of growing the game, and it's unfortunate just that got free land or cheap land and then just took it and built the arena, because that complex out there is awesome. Like they have the football stadium and they have all the restaurants and bars and all that stuff. So it's actually a great spot. It's just, like I said, it's almost an hour away from the original fan base. So, they've had a difficult time.
See, Dinger's got his finger on the pulse. He knows what's going on. Now, speaking of what's going on, you sent me a picture the other day as we were exchanging text message pictures of a bunch of Toy Story toys, and you said these are real toys. I'd like to know what inspired that. Where did the Toy Story toys come from, and just what made you so passionate about those toys? Now, do you have something against toys these days?
Yeah, because I spend too much money on hockey and hockey sticks and diapers and food. And no, I don't. I'm a hoarder. Like I am what would you call it? I'm a sentimental hoarder. So like I kept my kids' first like cool jacket, onesie, shoes, whatever, toys. Like my wife made me throw a bunch of stuff out because we were moving. She's like, we're not taking this, we're not taking that. I'm like, so I just started packing stuff. I was hiding it. As I like to, I want to give it to them like their first pair of skates, their first pair of gloves, their first stick, their helmets. So toys, man. I got Thomas the Train stuff coming out the Indiana. Like that stuff was so expensive. And then the Toy Story, like we had all the dolls because it was big. And when my kids were young, those movies, had just come out. So one of my boys, I forget which one, it was like Wooey, Woody. They couldn't say Woody when he was like 3 or whatever. So he's like Wooey, Wooey. So yeah, I kept all those toys. And our neighbor across the street, the Speranzas, the lady's name was Lisa, and they had a son, and she kept all his toys. So she like would gradually like give us toys, like so she gave us some of those Toy Story stuff. So there's no real story behind it. We just, you keep everything. And, now that we have a daughter, like a girl, like a kid that's a little over 2, that she plays with all those toys. We kept all the blocks, all the Legos, because I put a lot of time, man. I mean, back in the day, building like the Ninjago, the Shuriken Temple, I think it was called. It was like 1,500 pieces, and then my kids broke it apart, and then so I started like gluing everything, like same with the Batcave, and so I'd build it and I'd glue it, especially the cars and trucks, man. I'd glue it. I super glue all of them because they'd smash them. Like it's fun to like push them as hard as they can in a wall at each other. So I kept all that stuff, like you name it, books. Like we have so many books, man. Like the Giving Tree and what's that, Redfish, Bluefish, all those Dr. Seuss ones. So, oh yeah, we got all those ones, man.
You're primed to have you're primed to have like a garage sale at any moment. It seems like. What do you have? What did you save from your career? What did you hoard from that?
Everything. I don't know. Like, yeah, I try to keep a helmet from every year. So Carolina is the only team I think I don't have a helmet, but I have one from junior. I have one from every other team. I kept a stick pretty much from every year. So I got like the wood sticks, like the Sherwood 9950 PMPs, I think they were called, or 9150s. I got like the old aluminum Easton. I got the Easton Ultralight 2-piece. I got the Blue Vector when we won. I got the stick Marty used, that yellow Synergy. I had those. They made me a pattern. Well, it wasn't really pattern. Everyone kind of had the same pattern, whatever. But so I have a couple of those. I had like an old Titan, which is like just heavy as you know what. And so I kept a stick pretty much from every year. And then so I have gloves from like Calgary, Colorado. Because every time you get traded, when you treat the trainers good, and I always try to like take care of them, bring them donuts, buy them dinner, tip them, whatever. When you get traded, they send you with stuff. If you're not good to them, then they just send you with your equipment in your bag. So like I have blades, and it's kind of cool. I have all my. So when I got traded from Colorado, the trainer gave me all these shafts, and then Smokey was his name. He was awesome, man. He had a big mustache. He was awesome. I did like every day. I'm like gonna make you laugh, man. So I'd go in there and bring him donuts when they open up the Krispy Kreme, and I go in there and like stretch in a jock strap just to make him laugh. He's like, "You're not gonna make me laugh." I go, "Watch this, man." Start doing some lunges and jumping jacks in a jock strap. He's like, "Oh, I got you." So I got like he sent me with like 4 laundry bags. So it's kind of cool because my boys use my laundry bags now, and they have the number 11 on them. And they wear 11. So yeah, I kind of have a little bit of everything, to be honest, like some pucks and. My wife made me throw out all my like little league trophies and stuff, so I don't really have those anymore. I kept a couple like minor hockey league and when I played baseball and stuff. But I actually have my baseball mitt from when I went to the World Series. Actually, it was a year after we went to the Junior League World Series, and then the coach cut me because I was going to miss 3 days of practice. So I still have the glove, and every time I'm like, I feel like I'm just not working hard enough. I pull that glove out and I look at it, and it just makes me mad because my parents bought me this new glove, and the guy like. When you get a glove, you tighten up the laces and stuff, and he oiled it up, and then You know, I don't want to swear, but you know, the mother, whatever, effer cut me like 3 days later. Oh God, I'm so mad. Oh, so I still have that glove.
Did
And
he
then
did
I
he
have
did he derail your baseball career?
he helped my hockey career, to be
Okay.
honest with you, because it's funny, the year before, the catcher, he was allowed to miss like 4 or 5 days to go to volleyball camp. And then I was like, you know, same thing the next year. So we went to the Junior League World Series. And we killed everyone in Canada. Then we go to the World Series and we just get annihilated. Like our closest game was like 6-5 to Taylor, Michigan, I think it was. But you know, because we're Canadians, we only play baseball, or we only can for like 3 months of the year, maybe 4 if we're lucky. So our back catcher was allowed to miss practice. And the next year, there's this thing called the Super Series for hockey in Vancouver, and I made the team. And so I was going to miss like 3 days of practice, and I was like, I've had to clean up like every year for 4 years in a row. And you know, I think the previous year in the World Series, I had like a 750 batting average. Like I had good hand-eye coordination. Never, you know, I don't think I struck out like, I don't know, like never. So yeah, like me missing 3 days of practice to go play hockey really wasn't going to affect my batting. So yeah, guy cut me. Still, let's not talk about it. It's just
This is really, I mean, we could have been I could be talking to the next, or Larry Walker or something like that. And, but who cares? I'm talking to Chris Dingman, 2-time Stanley Cup champion. By the way, Stout Gloves, stoutgloves.com is at stoutgloves.com. You've got a lot of bills to pay.
Yeah.
Hockey's very expensive. I know people need the gloves. Is that where they go?
Yeah, they can go there. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. And now you're not allowed to cross the border to come into America, I don't think. But they will deliver.
I can do anything.
Oh, you can.
I can do anything. Oh
Okay.
yeah, I got my green card, man. I'm double vaccinated. I can go wherever.
You're a free man. You're a free man.
At least I think I can. I don't know. Maybe I could get detained and get the old rubber glove treatment, but hasn't happened yet.
Well, listen, man, I know that we've been playing like phone tag for a while. I appreciate you taking some time. You are really busy. You did pull over just to do this. I appreciate it. You wanted to do this while you were driving the other day, and I told them, I said, I care way too much about your safety. I want to make sure that you're pulled over when we do this. So thanks for doing it, man. It's always great to catch up with you, and hopefully we can do it again, when the Lightning are in the playoffs or something.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, let me clarify. I didn't want to do it while I was driving, but I was going to put it on the handheld so I could drive and talk to you. I just wouldn't be able to look into your eyes. We couldn't just lose each other in each other's eyes. So I was just trying to, what's the word? Do a couple things at once.
Yeah.
Multitask.
Yeah.
I was trying to multitask for you, just for you though, because you're very nice to me, and I don't know why, but you always have been. So, and then you know what? You did radio, and you did have to get up early, and you did have to put up with guys that weren't always so nice. So I appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks, Dinger. Go buy some Stout Gloves, everybody.